I had like a shower thought the other day, and just realized, have you ever been on a motorcycle?
I have not.
Ow. Unexpected.
All right. So how you been, man? It's been a little bit.
I've been
Life
good.
of Josh.
I've been very busy.
What's up with you? And why you been gone?
Me and my wife are having our first baby boy. And work's been crazy. Been getting busy at work. I've been doing some side projects, so been keeping busy.
Radical, man.
How have you been?
I've been real good too. I've been working on other projects, trying to get funding for things, get things going. Just meeting new people, trying to get a bunch of stuff going off the ground. Working on my own creative projects as well.
Nice.
We got our own little mini short that we shot a few months back. I'm here demanding on film. Joshua, when is it coming out? And what is the name of it? Because you said you got a name. Are we going to say that? Are you going to tell me I can bleep it out?
I can tell it to you, but it is set. We're not changing it.
Okay. So this was a point of contingency for a little while. We were trying to figure out what it was going to be called.
It is going to be called Harbinger.
I love it. I love it. That's perfect. Yeah, that's good. Okay. What's the timeline? What do you think? Because I know for a fact, there's not that much left for the, production-wise. It seems like we have the music a little bit. We got to, toward the end, get the timing right for that. Do some ADR.
Yeah, so I'd say it's about 80% done.
Yeah.
There is some visual effects that I need to do to it. And then there is some Foley, which is sound effects. That's all that's left. But yeah, it's just time. So at work, all I do is shoot videos and edit videos, and then I do side projects like music videos and other paid work when I get home. So it's really hard to find time between spending time with my wife, editing all day at work, and then when I do edit at home, it's paid projects. So I'm just having a hard time finding time to finish it.
Yeah.
But that being said, it is very close to being done, and I am really happy with it. I just need to get that last 20% in the can.
I've been seeing the progress and where we're at right now, and from when I thought that just the granules, the gray screen that you had, the block was so even close to what that vision that was a placeholder for just timing and spacing, and just seeing from where it went from the beginning, the extra shoots that we added, hey, can you come over tonight? The weather's fucking amazing. We're gonna get some cool shots.
Yeah.
And then, all right, how do we get this final thing wrapped up in the middle of the night, pitch black, carrying gear under our arms in the woods? And we figured it out, and it looks fucking amazing. And I want to get it out, man. It looks good.
I'll finish it.
Okay.
I will.
Better.
I will.
All right. So you got a question for me?
So our hypothetical question for this podcast I thought of was, if you could have any gadget from a spy film, what would it be and why?
I mean, this is probably the biggest answer, but the watch. James Bond watch, that where you can but if I had one particular gadget that I'd have to because there's so many in it, it'd be the grappling hook. I know it would probably rip my arm out if I tried to actually use it, but just if that technology existed and I could grapple up and just rappel down the side of a building,
that would be really sick.
That'd be fun as hell.
Or how practical would that be?
And pull myself up, I could just skip elevators.
Skip elevators.
Yeah. swing myself. You ever play Apex? You Pathfinder?
Yeah. That's a good answer.
How about you? What would you get?
Have you ever seen the movie Agent Cody Banks?
Oh, have I seen
Okay.
Agent Cody Banks?
So, there's so many awesome gadgets in there. There's like, he's got this really
Hoverboard.
cool skateboard that like, it's got like metal and it's like really big. He's got like a jet-powered snowboard. But the thing I would take are the suction cup boots. Do you remember the suction cup boots? It might be in the second movie, but there's a part where he needs to like get something kind of like Mission Impossible style,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like I think there's lasers,
Uh-huh.
and so he's like uses these suction cup boots and he walks on the ceiling to get it, but then they like start like uncoupling.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super fun, but I think that would be so funny to like walk up walls and scare people.
Dude, yeah. And that would be a good core workout, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think those they do have actual like suction cup. That is like a legitimate way. Like you like put it on, you twist it, and it like creates a suction. Then you put the next one. I think those are real things. I just don't know how well they work or how fast you can actually go with them.
Yeah.
But on your feet,
I'll have to look into that.
yeah, get a lot of blood in your brain.
Yes.
Help with headaches. All right, so you texted me late in the night about Bo Burnham Special,
Mm-hmm.
his Netflix release that he just had.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Inside. What did you think of it? What compelled you to text me? What was it, 3 a.m, 1:30, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, like that's probably about a good time to watch it.
I think it was later because I'm pretty sure I stayed up to watch it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they released it at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm a huge fan of Bo Burnham. I have been ever since his like YouTube days when he was like 16.
Me
Just
too.
because that's the kind of kid I wanted to be, is making funny, stupid YouTube videos.
Yeah, dude.
So I really like looked up to him in that aspect, and he's so funny, and he's just grown like exponentially smarter and funnier over the years. So I really loved it. What'd you think of it?
I also am a fan of Bo Burnham as an artist and as a creative, but generally I am not a fan of comedy songs. I respect Bo, I respect Weird Al. There are songs that I like, but comedy songs to me just don't hit right. Like with comedy for me, this kind of leads into what I think about his special. And there's something I have specifically to say about this certain special, comedy special. We'll determine what we want to call it, and comedy songs. But comedy songs, a lot of things about like stand-up comedy that I love is that it's the misdirection and the surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the song, like you know when the punchline's coming, because you know the rhythm of the song, and it just takes a little bit of the surprise out, and you know that it's gonna be a funny line here. It's not gonna be like as I don't know. It just feels more set up to me, and where a stand-up set obviously is written down and rehearsed at its highest form and known word for word and beat for beat, just like a song, it just breaks the illusion a little bit more for me, where I think I would consider this more of a one-man show, like the performance in and of itself. I don't know if you saw that. This is more of like a one-man show. Tim Dillon had some stuff. He's a comedian who had some stuff to say about it, some choice stuff. But I thought it was an impressive work of art, and the songs are catchy as hell. They are good. But the whole idea of should we be laughing and joking at a time like this?
Before we get to that, can
Okay.
we go back to?
Okay, yeah, I've got a lot
let
to
me-
say
let
about
me
this.
retort to what
When
you
you
just
texted
said.
me, I was like, Josh, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you ready for this?
Let let me debate what you just said.
Okay, please.
I understand where you're coming from on you think like music is a lower form of comedy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do.
I mean, that's kind of what you said.
I do. I guess I do.
And I don't disagree. Like, I don't think there's anyone else who could do it that I would think is funny. Like I don't know any other artists who are doing funny songs.
Value Select.
I don't know what that is.
His style is very, very similar to Bo Burnham's Special.
Well, I have never heard of him, so
there's a world for both of them, but he exists and he's a good artist comedian, I believe.
Sure.
From what I've seen, he's on YouTube and TikTok. Continue.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought here.
You were talking about there's no one else that you really think could do it the way that he did.
Not saying that no one else can do it. I'm saying I don't listen to anyone else. I don't think I would like anyone else.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you on how music is like. It's kind of weird to use that in comedy, but that being said, I think Bo Burnham does it expertly, and I loved all his songs that he's ever done. A lot of the times his specials have been more comedy centric or comedy centered, like stand up, and then there's been a few songs sprinkled in here and there. And they're always like funny songs, but they're not good. Like they're kind of just like you know, like low effort but super funny content.
Look, I can play the piano
right.
and I knows a couple rhymes.
But this one is different because I thought they were good when I watched them, and then I couldn't get them out of my head. And I think they were produced really well. He wrote, directed, shot, edited, produced everything in this special.
It was a wonderful feat.
And it's amazing that like one person can do that and like have any sanity, which he barely did kind of towards the end. And I understand that as a one-man band myself. He did an amazing job. He's super brilliant in a lot of aspects that I don't think people are giving him as much credit for. Because like you said, you think you don't like music as comedy, but he put together so much more than just the songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Well, here's the thing, though. Is like, I didn't think that his comedy in this performance was all of that funny. I don't think that was necessarily the point.
Correct.
I think this was supposed to be like a after crying, you just got a little bit yeah, that's it. I guess. I think it was supposed to be. I don't think it was supposed to be a comedy special that. Okay, the term comic relief has been popping up in my head since I've been seeing this special, and I referenced Tim Dillon. One of the things that he brought up is we need a different word for the things that are encompassed in the world and the umbrella comedy and the purpose that comedy relief serves in saying the things that most people don't say. And so is it a sadness special? Is it a comedy special? Is it, because it is intention. It is. It's not. It's not
I
that
would
funny.
classify it as.
You laugh. I laughed a couple times.
So you're right. It's not really a comedy stand-up special. However, he never claimed that it is, nor
not stand-up. No.
No, he never claimed it was going to be a stand-up special. I think of it more as like an art exhibition.
A one-man show, kind of like what I was saying before.
And
definitely.
It felt like he had some stuff he needed to say. It felt like he had stuff he needed to get off his chest. And he wanted to do it in a way that people can relate and also people can enjoy, but also maybe revel if they're also feeling similarly. I think the people who are like confused are casual fans of Bo Burnham, because when he teased that there's going to be a new special, they're thinking it's going to be just like his last one, Make Happy. And he lets you know right away that it's not going to be that. But you still are surprised that this is the direction he's going, because no one's ever gone in this direction with a special before.
There's not really been the opportunity to even do that.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
if you had released something that you had, like, just didn't go outside in 2019, people would be like, are you a serial killer? What are you talking? Why didn't you leave?
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
So,
but I think it is.
But just coming out right now, it's hard to look back on a recap of 2020 while we're still reeling from living in it ourselves. And so maybe this piece will age really well. Maybe it won't. We'll have to see.
I think it will. It's
yeah,
kind of
the songs are well made, and they are good.
Well, it's kind of like a perfect time capsule of like what we were all going through. Like all of his stuff was like relatable. Like the whole part about FaceTiming with my mom tonight. The part about how he like doesn't want to get out of bed, or like is really sad. But the parts where he's also like goofing around, and I think it really like represents how we all feel. And I think with some time and distance from this pandemic, we're going to look back on it the same way we watched the special, where it's like, wow, we were there a couple years ago, you know? So I think it'll only get better with time, like you said, as like a way of like, look at how far we've come. Like, especially Bo, if he gets back out there and starts doing more shows and his mental health gets better, like, he's got a perfect, like, this is where I was and this is where I am. And,
which is big.
And that's big, definitely.
Yeah. Coming out. And a lot of people are going to be in his same, not financially, not in, like, notoriety-wise, but a lot of people are going to be in his same position where things were going really well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they weren't. But for a lot of people, they were. And 2020 was about to be their year.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it seems like a lot of people were thinking 2020 was going to be their year. And everyone felt that.
Yeah.
What Bo felt there, too. And worse, probably. I mean, I don't know the full extent of his. But that certainly living in that room was, you know, relatable to a lot of us. But, I mean, there's also, like, you could go outside.
He did. He didn't spend the entire year inside.
Right. No, and I kind of wish maybe he had shown a little bit more of... Was that all he did? Because it seemed like he was portraying he did not leave that room for anything. And maybe that was a choice.
This is another thing I'd love to talk about is his edit, because these are all
his edit was.
These are all super, like, what's the word I'm looking for? These none of these have anything to do with each other.
A lot of them are recessive too.
Yeah, like none of these. They don't have a theme. They don't
Recursive.
He doesn't do callbacks too much into this special, but he uses all these like these songs and these bits, and he makes a complete narrative out of it, which is really, really impressive for it to feel like there's an arc, you know?
Did you feel like there was an arc?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, so
let me talk about this arc.
Please do. I'm going to just say before you do, I stopped it almost exactly halfway. Are there two parts?
You didn't watch the whole thing?
I did. Okay. I went back and finished it. But there's like parts, right?
No.
Correct? No? I thought there was like...
Well, I guess there is like an intermission or whatever.
I stopped it at the intermission, came back later.
Okay.
So, good time to stop it, I guess. It was appropriate for him.
Okay. Let me talk about this arc, because...
Tell me about the arc.
It's really beautiful and well done. So the beginning of it, he seems a little bummed to be inside, but he's got this idea. He's got some work to do, and he's pretty like, He's pretty cleaned up.
That's the part I gotta remember.
Yeah, he's pretty cleaned up. He's excited to start this project. And over the course of it, you see his mental health decline. You see his facial hair grow out. You see his lack of care for the room. The room gets messier. There's more gear everywhere. At the beginning of the shoot, he tries to keep it like neat and like pretty. And as the video goes on, he gets worse and worse mentally. He looks worse. He like wears less clothing. His bits get more like out there. Like they get more sarcastic. They get more he turns into like a Debbie Downer. There's even a scene where he like starts breaking down and crying in the special. And then by the end of it, he is reflecting on everything he's doing while he's doing it, which is very meta. So like there'll be scenes of him editing what he just performed the scene before.
That's what I was talking about with the recursive stuff. That was probably my favorite part of it. That's probably one of the things that I struggle with most with it, like if I were in his shoes with the decision is like, him turning on a camera, practicing something, and then breaking down and crying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to feel about that during a comedy special. Is that rehearsed? Is that practiced? Is that genuine? How long, like, did he turn on the camera knowing that he's about to break at some point and he's just going to keep going until he does so he can capture it on camera? What was that, and what does that mean? And then what, I have two schools of thought on that, but I just want to continue this like arc that we're talking about.
Yeah, so as he gets
putting in my
like more and more like he's coming undone, right? And then at the end of it, he's like he shows himself editing this, and you feel how daunting it is for him to think of all this, create it, and then make it good for people. You see the stress he's going through to be better than what he's done before while dealing with him practically wanting to kill himself. You know what I mean? So he's going through that, and then by the end, you see him reflecting on this past video of him when he's like a 16-year-old kid, and you see him thinking about how far he's come and why am I doing this? And then he has that whole great bit at the end where he makes you think it's over. The door's open. There's light coming in. This pandemic is over. He's coming out of this room.
All eyes on me.
No, not that part. After that part.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's when he's outside, and then he gets outside, and the spotlight's on,
yes.
and the door is locked. He can't get back in, and everybody's looking at him and laughing.
Yes, that's how he feels. Like he's gotten this thing done that he's been working on for a year, but now it's up to you if it's good or not. It's not up to him. It's not. It's it's up to us. That's what he's saying when he steps out that door. And people are like clapping, laughing at him. It's like that's how he feels. He's put his heart and soul into this, and then you and I are discussing it right now, whether it's good or bad.
Whether or not fucking hating Bo Burnham's the worst thing in the entire goddamn planet.
Exactly. And then by the end of it, it jumps back into him in his room, watching what he's made.
Yeah.
And he smiles.
Yeah.
So the arc is he's hopeful but sad he's inside. And then he is depressed that he's inside. He doesn't want to make this anymore. He finishes it, and then he realizes it was worth it, and he's happy. Or at least he's out of the dark. And that's his arc. And he put that whole arc inside all these unconjoined little clips of him being weird in a room. And to me, that's absolutely brilliant that he can make a narrative out of unconstructed scenes.
Yeah, I think I got to see it again because you explain the arc. I can definitely see it at the end, but it seems like very front and end heavy, and so I don't know exactly how the structure plays out. But
so let's.
How can you really plan it out? I mean, like it's about his mental decline. There isn't really necessarily got to be a structure, which is fine. And I know this special wasn't written out. How did he write the songs? I wish I could ask him some questions. Let's go back to what you were saying. I before we go any further, I want to stress again. this is a genuinely impressive thing. Yes, I stopped it halfway through. I was expecting a little bit funnier. That's the only reason. But I really do like him bringing up the idea of should we be joking at a time like this, and the whole thing is kind of just like a
Mm-hmm. I wanted to go back to you talking about if he was being genuine when he was crying.
yeah.
What
do you
think?
think?
And the part that you were just saying, like, how did he construct this all? Like, he probably didn't plan it and he figured it out in the edit. I think he's smarter than that. I think some of the genius of it is he's an amazing actor. And
I know.
Is this real? Is he really breaking down? Or is he hamming it up? Or because he's always sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like his entire life, he's been very sarcastic about his performance. Like he loves to act super cocky and like a douchebag, but like that's not who he is inside. He's got like anxiety, performance anxiety. You know what I mean? And those are two conflicting ideals. So the question is he fucking around, or is he genuinely going through some shit and he put that in a special?
In Promising Young Woman, tagging onto the middle of your point there, and then coming around to the end, in his performance in Promising Young Woman, he did it was a somewhat serious role.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing is this a comedy or not? And it brings up a more of a moral question for society to ask, kind of in the same ideal as Bo's special. But when you're saying he like hams it up for the role, he can do serious roles, and so that's why I'm like, there's parts where I'm like, okay, it seems like this is the point where I'm supposed to be able to tell that this isn't acting, but I can't. So.
And I honestly couldn't tell you if he is that good of an actor or if he really is.
I think
going
I'm saying
through
the
some
opposite.
stuff. Yeah. Well, okay, then I can't tell you if he's going through some stuff or if he's a really good actor, because he is also a director, and he had a part in every single bit of this. If he didn't want to be crying on camera, he could have taken it out.
What I'm saying is the crying didn't feel so genuine to me on camera. And I don't know if that's just because crying on camera isn't, there's no way you can really anticipate what it's supposed to look like.
Sure.
It's so the antithesis, right, of what a comedy special is the a comedian crying on the stage, the clown going up in front of you and crying, right? I mean, that's at the lowest form, reducing it. So I don't want that to be like taken offensively at like his mental state or anything like that. I don't know what to. I think Bo and I are on the same thing. I don't know what to expect from this special.
I
don't know what to think about it.
I think you and a lot of other people don't quite get what he's going for.
I think I've pretty clearly shown I know what he's going for.
He didn't want it to be a comedy special. He wanted it to be a show. He wanted it to be an expression of who he is and what he's going through, in the guise of he's done comedy specials in the past and he's a very funny person. I think it's brilliant because he brings it to some low points and then he punches it back up. And like the roller coaster ride of emotions that this gave me, I've never had in any other form of media.
You need to see in and of itself. And if this is just classified as a one-man show, I think everything that's fuzzy in my head is clarified. Him with it being framed in my mind as like a comedy special and bringing up, should we be joking at a time like this? And then it not being particularly funny, and I don't know. I mean, like, it's an idea that I like to explore, but I don't agree with. I think that comedy is the best form of healing, but I do really appreciate the fucking take that he took on it, because it is so different to what I believe that, like, it was hard for me to really enjoy it, but, like, the songs sound really good. I like that 80s synthwave vibe that he's got going on. That's like I said, check out Value Select. It's a very similar sound. But I don't know. Yeah, comedy songs aren't for me. They're not gonna hit right, and so that's the thing. Maybe that's what it is. It's just comedy songs being mixed into a one-man show, thinking you're gonna get like some sort of stand-up special, thinking that you're gonna be laughing, and when maybe that's just all me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is divisive.
Yeah, I feel like
he definitely didn't want to please everyone. I think that's very clear.
I'm probably gonna watch it again. Is the thing. I want to hear the songs again for sure. But
okay, let me ask you this:
yeah.
if you had gone into this knowing nothing of Bo Burnham, and someone told you that this wasn't a comedy special, if someone told you that this was a piece of art, performance art, would you feel differently about it?
Yeah, I mean, even if it was Bo,
if you saw this live
no, hang on,
auditorium,
even if I knew
different?
that it was Bo Burnham and it was like, I think just like a little more, I don't know, man, because like I said, I still respect it for everything that it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again, but not because I particularly enjoyed watching the whole experience.
Well, I'm like, confused by your argument. You said you don't like it, but you like the songs.
I do.
But then you say you don't like comedy songs.
That's the thing, man. There's only a couple of songs in there that I really like at the beginning, when he says like, I've got the content that you want, that you need, or something like, and like when the lights come out, I had a lot of like good like hope for the special early on, because that first song was great. The very last song was great. There was like 2 or 3 in the middle that I liked, and of course there was funny parts I liked throughout it. I've forgotten a lot of it. I gotta go back and watch it again. Even because I do respect it, I do like it for what it is, but it's not for me. I guess is kind of what I'm saying.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Does this special aside, do you think sadness and despair brings out better art than a happy, content person? Because if you think historically, like Van Gogh was a tortured soul, but he's considered the best painter ever to have lived.
Yeah, no, I definitely probably go along that path, even to the extent of saying that medications that are traditionally used to help are a hindrance in a lot of art creation, and that's not going to be easy to hear nor to say for a lot of people, but it's changes the way your brain works. And what you're saying is, and everyone I guess can look and see in the past, is if your brain works a little differently, you usually make art that is
different
unique, and that resonates with people. And you for whatever reason, having a wacky brain either makes you a killer and an artist. So you make skin belts. Or you're Van Gogh and you make legitimate like impacts in all of society and culture, like ripples throughout time, but you cut your own ear off to give as a present.
Right.
What? I mean, yeah, I do think having a dark, twisted brain can yield some good art. But there's ways to be twisted and positive. I don't know who said this quote, but you can lead a positive life with a negative mind. I know Garrett Rapp says that all the time from the Code Morale. I don't know, man. What was your question again? Can you kind of refresh me on that so I can wrap around my roundabout ways?
Basically, is making something beautiful from a horrible place more of a skill and an art than making something for money when you're happy and rich. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Like in terms of
But here's the thing: is Bo Burnham is rich?
I don't know if that's true.
Richer than you or me?
For sure. But he's not like a billionaire. He's not. I don't think he's got $1 million. I mean,
He's
he
written
might.
for a lot of people.
I mean, he might, but
Yeah.
but that okay. Then the richness aside, he is definitely not doing well. But he created, in my opinion, something very unique, something very special.
Yeah, no, and I think people should be rich and get money. That's not an issue here. But isn't it also you could like make something horribly tragic? It isn't okay. Making something beautiful from a tragic life. What about making something tragic from a beautiful life? I mean, no. I'm not really fighting for that. Like you come up with a child with supportive parents and a bunch of friends and a lot of popularity. You don't have to work. Like you're not gonna like have the emotions necessarily to portray like and direct in the way that you would like if you had been raised up in a hard life. That part I agree with.
What?
But you were asking.
I'm very confused
You were
by
asking.
what you just said.
You were asking. Is it more of a skill?
No,
To
I don't think that's. Well, that's not what I meant.
so like if you were raised like okay so Jordan Peele, say he made Get Out. What if he had the best life as a kid? I mean, I don't. This is all speculative. I don't know what I'm talking about. We can stop right here. I don't want to talk about this. I'm getting off the rails.
I don't think my point's coming across very clear.
Yeah, I think that I've said all that I have to say about this.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know if I should say I like it or not. Like I do.
I don't think you do.
I don't think I respect
From
it,
what
but I don't
you've-
like it.
What you've told
Is
me
that a
doesn't
thing?
sound like you don't like it.
Which
is fine. I don't think it's for everyone.
I love Bo.
Sure.
I love everything he's been in. I've seen him like almost all of it. I mean, but yeah, man, it was maybe just made me feel away. I'll feel away about 2020 that I didn't want to feel right then. So I'll check it out again in a while.
Sure. All right. Cool. I'm just fucking hot.
I am too. Okay, yeah, we can finish up here.
I also feel like we're gonna have huge sunbeams in our face, and it's gonna not look great.